By cyclones Goring and Hana reportedly kills at least 2 individuals. The Immigration Bureau warns overseas Filipino workers against third country recruitment. And Filipino fans get a shout out from Mariah Carey as the country's countdown to Christmas begins. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin the newscast with the enhanced habagat reportedly killing at least 2 people. According to the NDRRMC, the casualties were reported in the regions of Cordillera and Western Visayas. These are still up for verification. Meanwhile, 1 person was also reported missing while another sustained injury. Over 114,000 families or 418,000 individuals were affected across 8 regions. Initial damage to infrastructure was estimated at 130 million pesos, while damage to agriculture already reached 421 million pesos. Typhoon Hana continues to enhance habagat. Hana was last spotted some 220 kilometers northeast of Itbayat, Batanes. It is packing winds of up to 155 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 190 kilometers per hour. The typhoon is forecast to move west-northwestward until it makes landfall over southern Taiwan today. It is expected to leave the Philippine area of responsibility tonight or tomorrow morning. Still, tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 is raised over Batanes and Babuyan Islands. The western portion of Luzon and Antique may expect occasional to monsoon rains in the next 3 days. Now, Taiwan prepares for the onslaught of Typhoon Hana with international name Heikwe. Now, crops were brought in by farmers prematurely in fear of them being ruined. Fishing boats stayed moored in ports around the island after a sea warning was issued on Friday. Taiwan's 2 main domestic airlines also canceled all flights on Sunday. In Hong Kong, Typhoon Sola, locally known as Goring, left fallen trees, damaged cars, and flooded paths. Sola is said to be the strongest cyclone to menace the region since 1949. Parts of mainland China were also not spared by Sola. In Shenzhen, local media reported that 1 person was killed after a tree fell and hit their vehicle. Debris from uprooted trees were also seen in several areas. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Immigration Bureau warns overseas Filipino workers against the so-called third country recruitment scheme. Now, under the scheme, OFWs whose visas already expired are offered jobs to be transported to another country. Now, this means that the OFW would not return to the Philippines, leaving the government without any record of them. BI Commissioner Norman Tansinko gave the warning following the case of 5 deported passengers from Russia. 4 of the victims left as OFWs with valid documents, while 1 left as a tourist. Gilas went out with a bang after finally getting that elusive win in their final FIBA World Cup game against China, 96-75. This is Gilas' first FIBA World Cup win in almost a decade. Now, while this game essentially had no bearing in the cup, cheers erupted both in the Smart Araneta Coliseum and online as the Philippines finally got over its back-to-back heartbreak losses. For Gilas head coach Chot Reyes, this win is their way of thanking fans for their support. He said this may be his last coaching stint for Gilas after the backlash he got over the series of losses.
I always said that, judge us on the performance in the World Cup, regardless of what happened between the time I was appointed and today. I said, judge us by a performance. And obviously, we did not perform. We didn't perform. And like I said, the last game, I take full accountability. And because of that, I think it is time for me to step aside. It's just been brutal. You all know. You're on there. You're part of it, right? So it's just been brutal. Never mind on me, but on my family and my loved ones, it's just brutal.
Now, the man of the night was no doubt Jordan Clarkson, scoring a total of 34 points, 24 of which were in the third quarter. This explosion fueled the national team's lead after the tight game in the first half. The team's chemistry was undeniable, with the rest of the players also scoring left and right. Ren Sabando had 14 points and 5 rebounds, while big man Kai Soto shot 12 points with 6 rebounds. Birthday boy Dwight Ramos also finished with 11 points for Gilas.
Coming out here is just showing our heart, our respect, and our love for the country. They didn't give up on us, we didn't give up on them, so we just came out here, had fun, and really wanted to get a win.
American singer Mariah Carey acknowledges her Filipino fans as the Burr months begin. This came after Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You garnered over 300,000 streams on September 1st. That's a 75% increase compared to the same day last year. In a tweet, Carey exclaimed, "Not yet," conveying that the Christmas season has not yet arrived, but added that she will allow it for her Filipino lambs. All I Want for Christmas Is You was released in 1994. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 recurrent chart every December from 2005 to 2008. And those are the top stories of the hour. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.